I do not need to give you advice. I would say trust the growth that has occurred, the gelling that has occurred while you thought you had put it all on the shelf, and simply proceed to put one foot in front of the other to become active again. It will not be the same as before. Just let your love cause one foot to be put in front of the other and proceed. Simple.
So the growth that I thought, that I feel that I've done, that's real.
It is. Yes.
Okay, well, the second question was, I have a really terrible time with insomnia. I have a lot of trouble being able to go to sleep, and my mind is running sometimes. I don't really know why I can't go to sleep, but I have a lot of trouble with that. And an easy way out of that is just to take a sleeping pill. But I would like to know what I can do to help myself go to sleep without depending on medication.
When you lie down at night and you're ready to go to sleep, I want you to ask your guide or your healing team to help facilitate your easy falling asleep, to support your easily falling asleep. Don't try to do it by yourself. Reach out and ask for help. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. The gentleman in the back row. Yes.
Good afternoon, Raj.
Good afternoon.
It is great to be here. Last month we had a gathering and I asked a rambling question and you gave me some very specific advice. I went home and thanks to Chris was able to obtain a copy of that, and listening I was confronted with some very specific when an asset is no longer an asset and becomes a liability, leave it alone.
Let it go.
Let it go. Yes. Well, it was curious after being involved for a number of years. Anyway, I was confronted with the thing that, I'd been following your advice in the elusive sense of the word that could be drawn from all of the tapes to a very specific, what I felt was a very specific recommendation by you to me. And I thank you for that. And I feel I've embraced it greatly. I've spoke of it many times to close friends, and they've said, okay, there wasn't that fear that I had anticipated. So I'm becoming more and more comfortable. But as I was listening to the tape, you said something in passing, and I'm going to see if I can get initially a specific. You said, I can tell you're on the right track. You're in the right direction. Something, I forget the exact word, but you are on the right track. And for many years, I feel like when you've given me guidance, you've said there's a work to be done. You're getting prepared to do it. I've been in the alcove, the beginning part, and you said I'm started. So I'm wondering if you can...
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. But may I assume that I'm
If you open the oven too soon, the cake will fall.
Okay. Thank you for that. May I ask another question with
You may.
regard to what's going on? And this
Yes.
may be the question I came to ask. As I've entered relationship after a year and a half, I've been drawn to a very curious, I've had a great curiosity in watching other, shall we say, second time around relationships of people my age, 55 on up, whatever, okay? And how often the work being done between those two individuals is very difficult. It's not like 18 or 19-year-olds falling in love and learning and growing up together. But as you said in the last statement, you can't wake up alone. So I pose this question. Could you speak to the work that people go through in second and third relationships as they grow, open up, yield, allow, and the difficulty which that is, and encourage the doing of that work rather than staying with the relationship out of fear of being alone or having to start over. But the blessed opportunity to work together, which I think everyone has the opportunity to do, that's why they're there, but that it's not seen as an opportunity, it's more of an escape, or it's a cave, it's a safe place to be. It doesn't matter how shitty it is, it's better than being out in the rain. I don't know if I've been clear, but
Perfectly.
I just think it would say much to me and others, I think, in this effort to come together and wake.
The first hurdle you have to get over is the uncomfortable discovery that everything you thought you learned about being in relationship doesn't apply. And in effect, you are as unknown to each other as the two of you were in your first relationship as teenagers or young people. And the shocking surprise is that you have to learn all over with each other. How to please one another. It's insulting to the ego to realize that it doesn't have a handle on relationships, that all the years that you were in a relationship didn't give you an understanding that applies across the board with any intimate relationship. So you've got to move past that. Then you can begin the delightful process of getting acquainted with someone brand new and learn from a brand new starting point how to delight and please each other. The key thing that makes the learning more enjoyable is in forgetting about what you want to get from the relationship and devoting yourself to what you can give to the relationship. Oh, but I'm middle-aged, meaning I'm not just a young teenager. I have done some living. I have experienced life I am worthy of a certain amount of respect for the way I see things. Well, we're talking about getting. And it won't work. What can you give to the relationship? Selfishness is more pronounced in middle-aged folks. They've earned it. They've earned the right. Well, throw it in the trash can if you want to have fun. Stop and think about it, and you realize that middle-aged people really don't allow themselves to have fun. They don't really know how to play. Because they've had some experience, and they've grown up, and they've become mature. And they know what's foolishness and what isn't. So, if you don't assume that you know anything of importance from your first relationship that you can apply to the second relationship, and if you explore how to please each other, you will have a delightful time. And I encourage you to have fun with this relationship.
So the work that is being done is consequential, but having fun is what it's all about.
I sure hope it is.
We had a short catechism, I remember. It's love God and enjoy Him forever.
Love God and
Enjoy Him forever. I would say that's having fun.
yes,
And this is what I ask for. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Oh, and by the way, you're still as good as you were when you were 17.
Thank you. That's what she said.
We will take a last break. Questions? In the back, sitting down?
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I would like, if you're willing, to readdress a couple of things I spoke with you last time regarding employment and housing. I'm moving tomorrow, and my job ended, so getting into a new place became somewhat, well, difficult, if not impossible, without the funds to do it with. I have a temporary offer, which I'm not only grateful for, I'm accepting, even though it's not comfortable. I'm just curious if you could say whether or not, I mean, I know this is a futuristic question, which you don't like generally, but could you offer any comment on the likelihood of my securing a place in the next rental cycle, which would mean sometime, in July?
Well, I will tell you first of all that you are exactly where you need to be. I mean, in terms of geographic area.
Oh, good. That was my next question.
And as long as you remain committed to being in this geographic area where it is appropriate for you to be, and as long as you do not allow doubt or fretfulness to undermine your willingness and commitment to being here, then all of the rest of it will fall into place. And yes, I can say that within the next 30 days you will be relocated in a stable and ongoing housing situation. The key at this point relative to the new employment and the new house does lie in exactly what I said, that you entertain no doubts, no fretfulness around whether or not you are where you are supposed to be. I encourage you to let your feet be planted solidly here with an intent to remain, with no intent to look elsewhere, with having no other place as an ace up your sleeve in case this doesn't work out. And that self-discipline and that focus will keep your attention where the unfoldment is occurring. And I encourage you to look forward to the next 30 days with anticipation rather than concern. That's the end of the answer.
So when you say the doubt, do you mean wanting to run back to Kauai?
Indeed.
So I felt that, that was inappropriate.
You are correct. Your sensing was on target.
And that probably isn't going to become appropriate, maybe never. I mean, as much as I would like for that to be. It's not, generally I don't try to go back.
That is correct.
Okay, and may I ask another question regarding the employment part of this?
You may.
I have a couple of interviews upcoming this week, and both of them are similar in terms of what's being asked of me, or at least as far as I can tell. Not really knowing what's ahead with it. Could you say if one is more appropriate than the other? One is closer to where I'll be being, and the other involves a commute. But I'm open.
I will put it this way. Of the two, the second that you are scheduled to have is the one that is most appropriate. However, between now and the time you make a decision, I want you to keep your eyes on the horizon, as it were, attentive to other opportunities that may present themselves.
So the way I've been being available to what you just suggested is not like maybe a lot of people I know where they go after it. I kind of just been sitting and allowing it to come to me with curiosity engaged, but not like knocking on doors and, that kind of thing. I'm just in a more passive way, desiring but allowing it to come to me.
Yes, but also allow the trigger to come to you as well.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay.
If you feel the impulse, not the fear, not a step taken in terms of self-protection, but the impulse to check, the impulse to look here or there, Be willing to feel the impulse, and if you feel the impulse, don't hesitate to act on it.
The current situation that is now ending, is that appropriate? Is it appropriate to let go of that one altogether? Or to remain somewhat,
It is appropriate to let it go at this time.
completely?
That's right. Ambivalence will not allow for full commitment to and full presence with what is unfolding. You cannot afford to have your mind sidetracked.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Okay. Hands. Right here. Microphone.
I wanted to know whether I'm hearing guidance. I go through a process where I sit at a tape recorder and record in what I get. But I just want to know if I'm getting that straight, and especially when I'm confused about something. It seems to me that that can get contradictory. And I guess that only means that I'm putting my own input into it. But I'd just like you to comment on whether I'm getting guidance or whether
You are.
I'm just tripping my own head.
No, you are not tripping your own head. Yes, you are. When you are confused, don't attempt it. Meditate first. Breathe and pay attention to the sensation of the air as it passes through your nose. And if you start thinking, bring your attention back to the bridge of your nose and get quieter before you start listening and recording. Don't say, "Oh, I'm confused. This is not the time to do it." Just simply take a little longer or take specific steps to become still, and then continue. All it takes is doing it. Practice, practice, practice. Do it, do it, do it. And it will become smoother, and it will become obvious to you that it's not you making it up.
I guess it just kind of seems like whatever I'm off on, it's off on too. And I know that there's a logic to that. But if I happen to have read something in the course that emphasizes a certain idea, that's going to be brought up in guidance, and it will be, discussed.
You are recognizing fairly well when it is your guidance and when it is just an expression of your current confusion. So trust that.
Okay, and I want to ask you can kind of do a fast one on this one about my
Thank you.
relationship. About whether I'm in the relationship that I should be in, whether I should be in it.
Yes.
I had the feeling I should. It's just too troublesome that I shouldn't be,
A wonderful place to do the work.
Well, I really identified with the guys, with the answer you gave the guy in the back about middle-aged people.
Yes.
A lot of difference, a lot of opposite ways of being. But it's funny because I think I'm coming to the point where I realize that that's the trivia that needs to be gotten out of the way so that the love can be there so we can both see that. Because for whatever reason, we don't split up. And boy, let me tell you, we had some headbangers.
Hang in there.
Okay.
Hands. The gentleman over here. Gentleman. He just wants another hug.
Always, always. An interesting thing happened yesterday when we had the meditation and you asked the question about why do you think I speak through Paul. Very quietly, immediately, I heard the word confirmation, but it was very quiet and it was like at a distance. And then closer and louder was because he can, because Raj can. And so what that did was it made me question, and of course I've been following the louder one, which has kind of been where my focus was. So I'm thinking, well gosh, maybe the voice that I've been following for the last several years is not the one, and there's a quieter one that's being drowned out. Now, the other thing that I've been getting is that I have more than one guide. A feminine energy and a masculine energy from day one. And so my question is, what's going on here? Is there more than one? Is the ego tricking me, et cetera, et cetera? You can imagine how important this would be.
You have one guide, but always each of your guides has others working with him or her on your behalf. However, they do not often speak with you. And this is the case here. The second voice is one who is working in conjunction with your guide on your behalf. And you will not be able to force her to respond. She will only respond or interject or introduce herself into the dynamic when it fulfills purpose. But you can at least address questions to her now that you know she is there.
And just for identification purposes, was she the quieter one or the one that was more predominant?
The quieter one.
I see. Okay, well, thank you.
You are welcome. Now, as you're floating on your back, you have another pleasant inner activity to engage in.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Raj.
I am happy for you.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. Yes, in the purple.
Thank you. In my job bringing live music to hospice patients, I see in the different facilities many people once vibrant, full of life, physical energy, mental energy, now becoming more and more diminished. And it makes me, of course, very sad and compassionate, and I'm wondering why.
Because they don't know any better. They don't know that they have an option. They believe that what is happening is inevitable, whether it's in this form or some other form. And not knowing that there is an option, they don't reach for the other brass ring, as it were.